warm weather today?
Yeah, it was. In the morning it gets a little chilly. It was kind of cool to see the frost on the turf for the first time this year, but the sun was half out and the building was kind of making the shade. But once you got out in the sun, it was nice, and then we ended up inside somehow. So it was nice. It's nice to be outside during this time. A lot of the guys don't like the cold, or I don't know. They're not from the area where cold is a thing, and where I'm from, it's cold every day, 24/7. So it's kind of just home away from home when it's cold out.
Third down has been an issue for you guys all year, Casey, and I realize it's not on any one unit, it's a collective thing. What can you do, what can the interior of the D-line do to improve there?
Yeah, no, third down has been something we've been hitting on all year long. Unfortunately, we need to get to the quarterback. I think if you take care of the quarterback, I think all the other issues will kind of take care of themselves. And rush and coverage has to work together. It's been 2 games since we've really been to the quarterback. We've had any good quarterback hits. We've been putting pressure on them, but we just haven't been getting there. We got to finish the play, and that's something we're really emphasizing this week, as we should. And we're just keep focusing on getting to the quarterback.
When an opposing offensive lineman calls you guys out like a couple of weeks ago, how much do you guys take that to heart? How much does that motivate you even further to make these corrections to put better results out there?
Yeah, we definitely noticed it. It was something that was in our minds. It's, if anything, when people do that, it's just it's more motivation. It's something we want to prove ourselves, and we do that. We try to do that every week. If we have a bad game, which we take a lot of pride in, stopping the run. And every week we try to keep them below 100. That's something that we take a lot of pride in. And so for them, if someone were to say something like that, it just adds fuel to the fire. And but we got to really stay focused on the main thing there, and can't look too deep into that.
What have your teammates told you about last year's games with Utah?
Yeah, no, I've seen the film, and those were 2 really tough games that they played almost back to back, and it's kind of in the new, well, not really new, but college football now, you could almost play the same team and back to back, and they almost basically did that. I think they went like Utah, Colorado, Utah. So there was a little short time to really play them and then prep and then play another game and then prep for them again using the film from just 2 weeks ago. Those 2 games were tough for those guys. Like to run the ball on them, and that's kind of what the tell of that story was. But I think we got a different look this year. We're different up front, and we're excited, and we're ready to take on that challenge.
What's the look that Utah brings this season?
Yeah, they have their identities, right? They have their DNA, and they like to run the ball. They have a really good quarterback, obviously, with Cam, and then their tight end too. He's a weapon as well. Up front they're big guys. They like to be aggressive, and that's what we come here for, right? To play these type of games against really good opponents and against really good offensive linemen. So. We're excited for the challenge, and we're ready to get dirty in the trenches.
What do you see from Cam on film that kind of makes him special?
You can just tell the way he plays. He has that demeanor about him that he's not scared to do things by himself. He can run, he can pass. He's really athletic. He leads the team. So he's just all around overall really good quarterback. You're not just focused on keeping him in the pocket, because he can throw balls deep too. So. And then he can run. So it's he's very agile. He has a lot of really good traits about his game, and we're excited to play him.
Against the Huskies, you guys kind of seem to be really comfortable in the pocket. Was it something that their line was doing that was unexpected? Was it something they were doing really well, or was it something more schematically that you guys need to fix?
I think we needed to get home to quarterback better. I think we've worked with Tosh. We got to just find different ways, try to get there. I don't think it was their O-line was better than ours, or our D-line was not as good as their O-line. I don't think that was the case. I just think when it comes down to it, we just got to grind and get to that quarterback.
Dan alluded yesterday to the fact that you guys are closer than a lot of people realize to kind of getting this third down thing solved. Does it feel that way for you?
Yeah, definitely. We see it all the time. In the game we were third and long, and we basically had a sack, but he rolled out of the quarterback rolled out of it. It's stuff like that. We got to attack the high shoulder. It's little details like that can make a huge difference, and that's something that unfortunately when it happens, but we like to say no wasted pain. We learn from it. We got to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Where's the headspace with this team right now? And I ask in part because emotional loss, and then 2 really big games at the back end here. How would you describe where you guys?
Yeah, I think we're really focused. I think Coach Lanning said it in his interview. We're not going to let Washington beat us twice. we kind of put that to bed. There's a lot of things we learned from that game. There's a lot of things we can go back and look at, but like Coach Lanning said, we're not going to let them beat us twice. We know what we got to do this next week, and we're really focused on correcting the mistakes we did last game, making sure that doesn't happen this game, and coming out and being ready to play against Utah.
You talked about looking at the tape from last year. Obviously, the battle up front was really big for what Utah was doing. What have you seen out of their offensive line this year, and what are you expecting on Saturday?
Yeah, no, they got a pretty good. They're pretty good up front. They have I think a kid. Oh yeah, a kid played guard last year, is now at tackle. So they moved around. They got some new kids too. And they're big guys. They like to come off the ball hard, and I think Utah has their DNA. Like I said earlier, Utah has their DNA traits. They're going to try to run the ball, and we got to be ready for that. We got to be stout up front and make sure that what happened last year doesn't happen this year.
Dan talked about elite defensive communication before last week's game. Obviously, some things may have gone wrong with the crowd noise, Washington's momentum. Is there something this week you guys focusing on for that defensive communication? Is there something else that you guys really need to hamper in on to improve that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, communication is the most important thing when it comes to football, and everyone being on the same page. And obviously, in Autzen, your voice isn't going to be too helpful. It gets really loud in there, so everyone needs to be able to be on the same page. If it's hand signals, if it's whatever it is, D-line, we're obviously a little closer to each other, so we might be able to talk. In the back end, they got to give out hand signals, or they got to talk to each other. But yeah, no, that's obviously something huge that you got to be able to do as a football player. You got to be able to communicate, be on the same page as everyone, because if one guy's doing the wrong thing, it could mess up the whole defense. So yeah, I mean that's something we emphasize every week is having good communication and being on the same page as everyone.
This is senior day. I know you're listed as a junior, but you've been around a while. Will you be partaking in the senior day festivities?
Yeah, I will be. But it has nothing to do with any decision that I've made or have not made yet. All my family's coming to this game, and I figured might as well, since they're all going to be out here. I don't know where they'll be next year or if they'll be around for if I end up making that decision or not. So I will be taking in that.
You guys haven't been in the position often this year of having to bounce back from a loss. What does that process look like for you personally and as a team? Is it just 24 hours and flush it, or how do you go about that?
I think good teams can find a way to bounce back after a loss. Lanning, really, like I said earlier, Lanning has really emphasized don't let them beat us twice. And we said the same thing about Georgia. I think personally, I think good football players, the past is to be learned from, not to be lived in, and so that's something that good football players have to do is learn from the past and correct it, and then play the next game as if if they learned from the last. What I mean? So it's always tough. Emotional losses. They get to you. Obviously, there's a lot of guys here who unfortunately won't be able to play Washington again, but at the same time we still have business to take care of in the future. So in right now. So we're just focused on getting ready for Utah.
Last question. You've gotten to see Bo in a little bit of a different capacity and context, and I know Maya and Izzy are a big part of that.
Yep.
How would you describe Bo, the person who you see outside of this and outside of practice and outside Autzen Stadium?
No. The first day I met Bo, there was just something about his demeanor. Just you could tell instantly that he was a leader. And just from talking to him and his experience, it was really funny because I was actually talking to him. I was like, dude, I remember seeing you on Twitter all the time, and I never thought in a million years that I would be going out on double dates with you, or or going out to dinner with you. I'm like, wow, I'm really actually with Bo Nix, the guy I saw at Auburn 2-3 years ago while I was at Nebraska. It's just funny how the world works, and but yeah, no, Bo's a really good friend of mine. We've kind of had this whole transfer process together. He obviously got here a little earlier, and then his wife is really good girlfriend, or really good friends with my girlfriend. So we do a lot together as couples. So he's a really good kid. He has his head on straight, obviously, and he's a really good person to follow because he's always going to do the right thing. He's always going to have his teammates in his mind when he's making decisions. And I'm just completely blessed to have met him and have a relationship with him and his wife like I do.